How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to go and do a bit of an easier, chilled, simple mission because I didn't feel well yesterday and I still don't today, so I don't want to go for. I want to do that train departure contract very soon. That's like my last contract on this region. Yeah, so like I said, a bit more of a chilled one to New Horizons. I've got to go and grab like a trailer and fix a loaf. I mean, that's damn lies. Loafs never need fixing. Yeah, I'm taking out the what's it called, the White Western Star, because to be honest, it used to be my main crane truck. And then the P12 did kind of overtake it for that, and I've not really used it much since, but I've always kind of liked it. It's good for not tipping. Yeah, kind of got to drive up to there, get the trailer, take it to there, and then once you get there, there's a loaf there that you got to repair, and that's about it. So, like I said, in theory, a little bit more of a chilled mission. I've got basically, I was only really bringing the orange loaf behind me, but then I just thought, we'll see how this thing handles with tipping or not tipping. Yeah, with a loaf on it. It's getting this like nostalgia every time you do that horn. That's like the MudRunner horn. I'm pretty certain everything in MudRunner just had that horn. But yeah, it's pretty good to hear it. Brings back some memories. Yeah, like I said, I was just more like the orange loaf was the one I was intending to do the mission with. As I said, once you get there with it's a little scout trailer you've got to go and rescue. So you basically, I don't 100% know if you could tow it there with a truck and it would accept it or not. I probably wouldn't risk it though. I'd take some kind of scout. Yeah, I mean, you've even got like the Tatrin can't have trailers. Again, it could winch the trailer, but I'm not 100% the mission would accept it. I don't think it would. I know on previous missions I've done, like I've got there with a Tatrin and it's not accepted it. So unless they've changed that, but for that reason I've not tried it in a good old while. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm bringing the loaf. He's a goddamn horse of a vehicle. He's earned it. And like I said, I just wanted to see what this White Western Star, how this handles. And to be honest, well, this was the main challenge, kind of driving up this sort of, yeah, incredibly rocky kind of scar down the mountain. And so far, it's doing pretty well. I've drove up here in quite a few trucks because there's like a logging station up here with unlimited logs. Even stuff like the Dolphin and that doesn't make it all the way up here in high gear. It's about there where some of them can struggle. The loaf at the back, he was tipping, but as you can see, leans pretty far before he goes. He still made it back to his wheels. Goddamn horse of a vehicle. Yeah, it's about now. My Dolphin always stalls out a high there because it kind of beaches on that rock a bit at the top of that little hill. Doesn't help this thing. To its credit, I have to say, I was pretty impressed at the minute. I was almost considering at this point, like, if this mission was just done and over within like 6 minutes or something, then I might even just go and do another one of those little missions with this White Western Star. And yeah, like I said, to its credit, it was going a lot better than I thought. It definitely, like, it takes a lot to knock it back out a high. Eventually it did get me though. I had to go down into the low ranges. Funnily enough, like, they've gone a bit crazy with rocks and that in this little path section. It reminds me quite a lot of the how the ice used to be in like Lake Covd and everything. The mud here is really like swampy, boggy mud that's very easy to sink through. Almost a bit like the slushy sort of ice that was under the breakable ice. And yeah, with these rocks in the way, they're kind of reminiscent of the big ice blocks. They seem to have updated the ice a little bit, so the actual blocks of ice don't kind of glitch into your truck and lock you in place as much. But yeah, this was reminding me of that, where once there's rocks around, your tyres just kind of, the mud's too sloppy to really get a lot from it. This White Western Star has got, I think it's 47-inch tyres, which are not too bad, but you definitely, when it comes to stuff like this, the bigger tyres the better, really. So even stuff like the Dolphin's got 51-inch tyres. I think the Taiga is 50, 51, maybe even 52, I don't know. But more that size. I know it's only like 4 inches, but 4 inches makes a difference. It's of course definitely what she said. Yeah, as you can see, I was trying to climb my way up. This is why I didn't do any more missions with it. To be fair, the White Western Star was doing alright. Like, there is a lot of stuff that would get stuck up here. It's basically, when you got to this point, I'm kind of past where you turn off for the medium logs. So I have been up here before, but rarely. Yeah, like I said, it just gets like extra sinky, boggy mud. A lot worse than it looked. You'll see now, in fact, I just left this little bit in to show you. So I was finally like, sorry, I'm jumping in the horse and I'll tow the Western Star up here. But then as I drove down here, like, I sank in one side, the mud was already up to my door, and it's like, bloody hell, it was just, yeah, not not good. I've been in little patches like that before. I'm not even. So in the end, I was like, sod it. I'll send the Loaf up the side of the hill, and we'll try and drag this White Western Star up here. Like I said originally, I was going to try and tow him through the rocky bits, but nah, mission abort. At the minute, the White Western Star, it's kind of hooked on a rock, so I just need to get it off that. And the sad thing is, with the winch in the way it's going at the minute, I can accelerate and not hoover the winch in, and then the White Western Star is like assisting me, it's driving as well. As soon as I hit the winch button, which I believe I do in a minute to kind of demonstrate it, it just cuts all the power from the White Western Star, so you're left with either or, which is a bit of a shame, because it used to be like, while I'm hoovering the winch and the White Western Star would also be driving full power kind of at me. And yeah, those two actions combined are just better than either or. But, told you, he's a meaty little horse. I mean, that's pretty respectable, I would say. Up a steep hill. Towed a truck up a near vertical hill by the time you actually look at it. With a Loaf on its back as well. He's a beast. And again, at this point, I was just kind of messing around. Like I said, I don't feel very well, so I was like, maybe a bit of Loaf time will sort me out, that'll see me right. I have noticed though recently, I've been doing a lot of like messing around towing trucks and stuff, and like I said, with the winch system as such, I'm not sure if you can really call it that, the truck I was towing as well was putting its handbrake on a lot. I could kind of see it happen a few times where it just noticeably was harder to tow all of a sudden, as if I thought, oh, maybe its engine had switched off, but then when you switch back to it, it had its handbrake already on, so I can't 100% confirm it, but it seemed like that's what it was doing. It was doing it a bit when I was trying to get that Azov out the deep water as well. So anyway, got to this section. I've already been here before and kind of already accepted the mission. But yeah, there's a little trailer over here. It's already got the 2 lots of cargo that you need to deliver. I think, yeah, you might have to deliver the actual trailer itself. All I mean is, like, you couldn't, say, get a truck, crane these off into your own sideboard. Like, I think you have to deliver the trailer as well. I wanted to do a nice tight little turn, but the yeah, the trailer hitch doesn't really allow for that. And I was going to just turn, and I was like, well, no, stop it. We'll connect to that, I'll just drive over these rocks in front. It's not a problem for the little Loaf. And then I wanted to make that corner, I was like, fine, I'll drive over these rocks as well. And looked at this camera angle, I was like, well, actually, it's looking a bit tippy. Fortunately, we reached for a bush, and that bush was good. It hung in there pretty well, and we're away. Little glitch there, not on it, is it? And yeah, I mean, in theory, like I said, this should have been a pretty smooth sailing mission. Not very far to go anyway. Well, it's gone pretty well up to now. I mean, when I was messing around kind of towing that White Western Star behind me, I could have just set off with a Loaf. It would have saved me a few minutes, but by then it was just principle. I said to myself in my head, I bet my horse can get that White Western Star up this hill. I think that was a little bit unfair how easily they unpacked. And I thought just then, slam the handbrake on, I was like very close to getting the cargo kind of rolling back on the trailer, but sadly it all kind of stopped pretty abruptly. Yeah, like a trailer width before it all just landed nicely back on my trailer. So long story short, I disconnected the trailer, I drove back up the hill and I just reset the mission. I didn't have anything with a crane on me. I could have brought some in with a crane, but to be honest, this is, yeah, this is what I'd do. Also, I just left this bit in. That's what I would do with a trailer when you go and get it, because it just purposely points the side you've got to attach to. Like the opposite way, yeah, just stick a winch to the hitch and it'll kind of, it's a lot easier just to tow it out of there. And the nice thing with a Loaf, it's very forgiving on when you can attach a trailer. Like some trucks, you have to be so precise, but as you can see with the Loaf, you just press attach trailer, and even if you're like half a Loaf length away from the trailer, it'll just wrench you backwards and the trailer forwards, and bam, you're good to go. Loaf don't mess around when it comes to trailers. Yeah, so this hill, as you can see, I mean, the camera angles, you'll know if you played this game, don't really do it justice when you get to these steep hills, because you can see it now, the camera angle's like adjusting to compensate for it. So yeah, sometimes you just kind of, you don't really notice until you swing the camera around and it's like, bloody hell, I'm near enough vertical. it also was kind of like smoother, more compact mud at the top, and it gets a bit boggier at the bottom here, so it sort of, yeah, tries to trip you up. It didn't really trip me up the first time, it's just sadly the cargo hit a point where it auto unpacked, and yeah, if it didn't do that, that whole section I would have been away. But it is what it is. It'd be pretty cool if the cargo just stayed on the trailer even if you rolled the whole thing. Yeah, I'd probably prefer it like that. It'd certainly be a bit more convenient in cases like this, especially with the scout trailers, because obviously, I mean, it should offer me, I could easily see a crane sat on the back of the Loaf. It'd have a good old time, but yeah, if they're not going to offer me a crane, then it's a bit of a pain that the mechanic of losing cargo is still there. Or at least if it allowed me just to attach my winch to the cargo, I could kind of just tow it along the floor and hook it back onto the trailer. But yeah, it just, obviously you can't do anything. You can ram it. I could have tried ramming it on the trailer, but I was like, nah, I'll just drive up the hill. It's a minute away and I'll reset the mission. Again, with the nice views, there is a lot of nice views on this map. I like, but these are still, I think, so far been my favourite phase they've released. Lake Covden, yeah, mainly Lake Covd is kind of my second most like. I did quite like the Flooded Foothills and Big Salmon Peak at first, but I don't know, it very quickly, like, yeah, it was just one of those again where it's trollish. It was a little bit like with Amandra. I liked that at first, but then there was just nowhere to kind of stretch your legs with your vehicles a bit. So it got very samey. After a while, it's just like, yeah, I'll go to a different map. And to be honest, I completed all the missions on there, and I've rarely, if ever, been back since. I've got a few logging missions I need to get done on there as well. I'm just hoping a few more, like, in-game things get this medium log cradle thing added to the truck, because then you can do 2 lots of medium logs at once, or do a road train and get 4 medium logs. Like I said, there's a mission I think on Drowned Lands with you got to take 6 lots of medium logs to the farm, but if the options they're giving you is like you can take 1 medium trailer at a time, it'd just be 6 runs there and back, which doesn't interest me. It's like, if I can do the run once, then I can do it 6 times. I mean, yeah, worst case, I don't mind doing it twice max, but 6 times is just, they need to offer us, yeah, more ways to pack these logs. And again, I know mods cater to that, but like I said, I've got 2 different playthroughs. Yeah, getting up this hill, it was a bit of a beast. To be fair, I did drive up, what was I scouting in last time? Well, not scouting in, but I was just over here at the time. Whatever, anyway, I drove up this hill in a truck, and I had a similar experience, because there's a lot of rocks going up that hill again. The Loaf climbs over rocks pretty, well, yeah, very well, especially for its tyre size and everything. Yeah, anyway, this is what I mean, like, obviously you have to drop this cargo off, yeah, so you wouldn't be able to do this with a Tatrin, because you physically need to drop the cargo off. It's not one of them where, as soon as you just touch the square, it auto takes it off you. So that was the first part of the mission, drop that cargo off, and then it just takes the trailer off you. That's stage completed. And then, yeah, this little Loaf, which I was assuming, once we fix, we would be able to keep. And of course, yeah, Loaf's got enough supplies. That's part of the reason I brought a Loaf. Like I said, a Tatrin's got 150 repair points. I don't think that would have been enough. The Loaf's got 300 on his roof rack, and that was enough. Repair before you refuel. It probably didn't matter in this case, because I don't think the fuel tank was fully broken, but sometimes I've refueled stuff, then repaired it, and then you got to refuel it again because it's lost fuel. Yeah, long story short, the Loaf vanished. I was like, well, it's not very impressed about this at all. Read the little thing at the end, and it basically said, we might even see you again one day. It's like, what is that little cryptic message? It's like an ET Loaf. One day he's going to phone home. He best do anyway. Yeah, so I was a little bit like, oh, I would have, yeah, I would have liked to have kept that Loaf. Found a new spot to go and, I don't know, howl at the moon with my Loaf. Try and speak to ET Loaf. Come back, Loaf. So yeah, in the end, I was like, sod it, I'll go through my garage. I was trying to look, like, oh no, that's not. I was looking if I got a Loaf blank. I couldn't really be asked going to Russia to go and buy a load more Loafs. But you see, about 6 months ago, I had the foresight to just buy a load of Loaf blanks. And now, got the newest horsey member of the family. Yeah, just kind of copied that Loaf that we just repaired. And he's mine now. ET Loaf can go wherever he likes. You don't need to phone home because I got my own. Yeah, anyway, that's about it for today though. Hope you enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my Patreon members, and I'll be back soon.